Members, on Saturday, Minnesota State Senator John Hortman and State Representative Melissa Hortman were shot at their homes in what officials have called a politically motivated and targeted attack. The suspect, who I will not dignify by naming, reportedly impersonated law enforcement. Representative Hortman and her husband were killed, while Senator Hortman and his wife are facing a long recovery and are very lucky to be alive today. I've been unable to shake the heartbreak I feel, I know you share, for the Hortman and Hortman families, the people of Minnesota, and our nation. Hortman and her husband left behind their 2 kids who have now had to spend this recent Father's Day weekend alone, and I grieve for them because this senseless act of violence has altered the rest of their life. Authorities announced that a list of other possible targets was retrieved from the suspect's vehicle. The list named Hortman and Hortman and included dozens of other Democrats from Minnesota, including Governor Tim Walz, U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar, U.S. Senator Tina Smith, and State Attorney General Keith Ellison. The shooter's list of potential targets also included the names of abortion providers and pro-choice activists. This tragic event was more than just a random act of violence, and the moment demands that we reject any and every threat of violence that targets those who serve our nation. Our differences, whether they are political or personal, are what makes this nation great, and we settle them peacefully through elections and the debate, not through fear and acts of violence. Political violence has no place in our country's democratic process. These shootings happened on a day that already carries symbolic weight. Flag Day, the Army's 250th anniversary, and a weekend of nationwide civic demonstrations. Representative Hortman and her husband's lives were cut tragically short on a day that was meant to celebrate the values that have endured in our nation for the last 250 years. That she was targeted for her work as a dedicated civil servant makes her death all the more horrific and cutting. The acts of this shooter were meant to terrorize and silence those in Minnesota and across the nation, looking to stand up for our long-established constitutional rights and demand better. Every single one of us here, regardless of our political party, puts ourselves in the public view in order to work towards improving our state. We strive to conduct our debates peacefully and respectfully in order to advocate for our beliefs in what government should do for its citizens. And in that process, we open ourselves up to public criticism and censure. We should all remember this as we move forward and think twice before we share or promote something that may veer too far into the realm of conspiracy theory that unfairly demonizes our political opponents and may unwittingly encourage people to act before waiting for evidence. This moment in our nation is tense, but the American spirit can and will endure. Violence must never become a part of our civic life, and I know all of us, will continue working towards the day that every American feels safe to be themselves. Mr. Pro Tem, thank you. I would like to ask for a moment of silence in memory of Speaker Emerita Hortman and her husband. Thank you.
Those on the floor and guests in the gallery, please rise for a moment of silence.